And hello, and welcome to the Cup TV. The Cup. See, I'm ready to say TV, and it's not TV. It's just the Cup. And we're with the real entity in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently drinking my favorite drink of all time, strawberry Sunkiss. Not sponsored yet, but we should be because I drink enough of it. So Sunkiss, sponsor us, period. But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking it out of my cup mug. Cup mug. Yeah. And you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at LanaCheeseCreations.etsy.com. What we do ship internationally and domestically here in the US. So there are no excuses. In US, I'm looking at you like, come on. There is no excuses. The shipping is cheap from here. So get your cup merch, period. The link will be in the description below. Period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. Today, I decided to wear my very first drag queen shirt that I ever bought, and it is Miss Shea Coulee, my favorite drag race queen, and I even got it signed. And I will be mentioning Shea Coulee later in this episode, but I am just drinking Old Reliable some water here.
Absolutely. And wait, hold on, David. Somebody is here and I don't know who they are.
Who is
Like,
this?
who are you?
Hi. I decided to jump in on your episode, talk about my favorite episode of the season. It's the Snatch Game. My name is Victor. I'm a longtime friend of David. I am a fantastic Drag Race fan. I'm wearing one of my idols and heroes, David Bowie,
Period.
the god of androgyny and rock and roll. Yeah, I've known David for a long time. I'm a musician, composer. I help produce and edit a life advice and spirituality podcast for a medium and healer. It's called Beacons of Balance. Yeah, I just try to enjoy life and do as much as I can and watch Drag Race. Watch Drag Race as much as I can.
Period.
No cute intro either. So.
And what are you drinking?
I have a mixture of kombucha and water, guava kombucha. Which if you haven't had the guava kombucha, you know, like the ones that you get in the store. I can't even remember the brand name, but that I'm kind of addicted to that. A little of that in water is very nice.
Word. Well, then there we go. We welcome Victor. Welcome to the Cup. And you know, once you come on the Cup, you're practically family, and so you will be welcome to come back anytime, I'm sure, unless you do something to get on David's on my bad side today. But other than that,
all right, I'll be on my best behavior, or at least I'll try to. I can't promise anything. Please long enough to know that.
Be on your worst behavior because that's how we play here at the Cup. We want people on their worst behavior.
I prefer that.
Absolutely. But we are here to talk about Drag Race episode, season 16. And but I don't want to get too far into that because we have to take care of business. So if you're here and we see you here and you stuck around this whole 5 minutes talking about listening to us talk about whatever, hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button right below. Hit all the things, the notification bell, so you know when anytime we drop a video, because we're dropping videos all the time here on this channel about almost everything drag, like and Drag Race related. So hit that button down there. We got 5 active drag shows happening right now that we're talking about. So you want to stick around and hear all the reviews that we're talking about. And then if you're a fan of reality TV, we got a channel for you too. Go to the Cup TV and we took almost all things reality TV on there. And we got some new stuff coming soon. Next week, we got Survivor coming back. Mm-hmm. We're already talking about Survivor Australia. We got Amazing Race coming back. Look, We're talking about traders. We got it all happening over there. So go over there, hit that button over there, subscribe, all those things, hit the notification bell. And if you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, guess what? We got a channel for you too. Go to The Cup ESC, and it's heating up over there because we are smack dab in the middle of Eurovision Song Contest season. Videos are coming out all the time, so you want to go over there and subscribe to that channel and all of the things. And if you want to join this membership channel that we have here on this channel, because it's a beautiful thing, we have exclusive content in our tea room. So go join the tea room, hit the button down there. You see it. It says join that. $5 a month. You get some extra special content that nobody gets to see but you. So join that channel. You can join here on the channel or join our Patreon. That link is in our link tree. So all of the things. And if you just want to donate to this channel, we got a super thanks right down there. Hit the super thanks. Give us a little something, something. We appreciate you. And just know everything that you give to us goes right back into this channel to help us make better and greater content for you. Now, we got all the business stuff out of the way. Because that's a lot. That's a lot. We got a lot going on here at the Cup.
Yeah, you're going, girl.
But we do it all for you, and we appreciate you so much. But we're going to come here and do what we know you're all here for. Talk about Drag Race. So we come back into the workroom. Oh, sorry. I have something caught in my throat. David, please.
Yeah, so we get back to the workroom. I think one of the first things that gets said, which is interesting, especially knowing how this episode ends, we hear Plasma talk about how Megami was like, New York top 5, New York top 5. And Megami left. So Plasma was like, New York top 4, I guess.
New York top 4. I laughed so hard.
Oh my God, man. Poor thing.
I don't want to get my head
all go in a row.
Like, I mean, Plasma showed a little of the knife in that reading.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do, hold on, because I forgot to do something, because Victor is new here. And Victor hasn't been able to express themselves on how they felt about the season thus far. So I think we need to give Victor their moment. So, Victor, this is for you.
This is your moment! Have it!
All right. Well, okay. Oh, and the ticking clock. Wow. All right. So I'm enjoying this season much more than especially the past, I want to say 1 or 2 seasons. Last season just didn't really grab me as much. This season, it felt like I was worried that everyone was going to be very, very, very catty. And of course, we saw some of that, especially with Plain Jane and Amanda. But as soon as Amanda was gone, it seemed like that was reduced a little bit. And there's a little bit more of sort of a funness and a camaraderie. And just, I'm enjoying watching them, interact. It's a little more playful. It's a little more fun. And there's not as much like, nasty, there's the drama and the juice, but it's just right this season, right amount of sugar. How much longer I got?
That's it.
All right.
Here's your answer. Good timing.
Good timing. I mean, yes, we did hear a little bit of cattiness, and my favorite
relevant to the conversation.
That's like my favorite thing of this season thus far. Still, like, it's not even relevant to the conversation. But yeah, it kind of calmed down a little bit, and that's great. That's good. But Megami's gone, y'all, and not a top 5 New York top 5.
No.
Apparently.
Nope.
And I like that, like right off the bat, we're seeing Mhi'ya like immediately come out of her shell. She's like, I heard Megami talking smack about how this is not a song for flips. So I had to show her that I could still beat her without doing any flips.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, she just was being very sassy this whole intro, like especially towards Morphine. I don't know what happened there, but I was living for it. I was like, come on, Mhi'ya, show us some personality.
I think Mhi'ya was more like, at this point, like, she was tired of being like overlooked or told what she's not. Like, she has every week. They're like, "You're not this. You're not loud enough. You're not entertaining. You're not." And Maya's like, "I have it in me. I know I do." And then I guess when Megami was talking that mess about some she can't flip, and she kind of assumed she ain't gonna beat me in no lip sync because she can't flip on this song. Because this and Maya was like, "Hold my beer, hold on, I'll be right back." And she kind of showed her and was like, "I don't need to flip to beat you. I'm just good like that." And I think this raised her confidence, which I love.
Absolutely. I mean, if it feels a little bit like Amaya stepped up, like she stepped up and it like finally started listening to the judges, because it's like she knew it was there, but then it's like, I think maybe like you were saying with the way she challenged herself by saying, "Okay, I'm not going to flip and I'm going to beat you." And she did. And that was just like, okay, all right, I got this. Like, girl, I am still in this. And I really respected that a lot. And, it was a strong episode for Maya, and I'm glad, like, I got nothing but respect for her for that. She came to the next level. And every single time you see, somebody on Drag Race who continuously gets critiques and listens to it, they always end up just not only advancing way further than I might have expected, but they sometimes blow me away and then, end up completely like turning me around and making me a big fan of them, and it's like, I kind of see that turn a little bit right now with Maya,
Yeah, we love a good redemption story.
Absolutely. I'm about to say the same thing. We love a good redemption and like, I've loved watching a queen start at the bottom and have to really claw their way through this competition. For me, that's the journey. I would look. Yes, it's great to see queens come in and they're already so polished and so good, and they just excel in everything. It's like, yeah, they are great. They are who they say they are, and it is what it is. But I love seeing the grit and the scrappiness of a queen who is not as polished, who's learning on the journey, and it's like, sure, some people are like, "Well, this isn't the place to learn. You're supposed to come in already knowing." We can't always be all knowing about everything. Sometimes we still have to learn. Exactly. So I love seeing them coming in, and their journey is like, I'm scraping it and I'm getting better each week. My makeup skills is getting a little better because I'm looking at these polished queens who know stuff, and I'm learning tricks and tips. My outfit skills, I know how to put stuff together now, and watching them like, okay. And then when they get to something like this week, or the reading challenge or Snatch Game, they're like, the confidence is there. I could do this. I love that journey. I'm a fan of that journey. So.
Yeah.
But
it feels like a win for a real person,
yes,
like
absolutely.
It's like you can really root for,
Absolutely. Exactly. So coming up next in the workroom, Dave, what?
Yeah. So we get into the next day, and Morphine decides to start out with a little story about her and Xunami Muse from before they were on Drag Race. And I was like, this story is so relatable. She was talking about how they were at the bar together and she saw a guy and she had her eye on this guy. And she's like, "Ooh, I'm interested in him." And then next thing she knows, she turns around and Xunami is making out with this guy. And she's like, "What the heck?" So I was like, I have been there so many times. It used to get to the point where if I was like interested in a guy, I would have to avoid introducing them to my friends. Would just, what the heck? Like, why they're all hotter than me.
That is so relatable.
That's awful, yeah.
So relatable. I'm sitting here like, how many times have that happened to me? Yep. That is so relatable. As soon as you say, "Oh, I like that dude," your friend is always already like, "Oh yeah, he cute." I'm like, "Girl, you know what? Never mind. I don't have time to be fighting you for these boys. I don't have time." But yeah, that's relatable.
But then next we have Ru come in the workroom, and we know what it's time for. Finally, I've been waiting for this, especially with this cast, because they could have done a reading challenge like a few weeks ago. And I would have loved to hear some reads for like Amanda and Megami, but it's time for the reading challenge.
Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
Mhm.
That's my favorite. This whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, I thought we had some pretty good reads here. It seemed very quick. Like there were not a lot of people that they showed several reads for. In fact, you can always tell who's going to win because that's the person they show the most of. But I did write down a few of my favorites. So I liked when
Wait.
Q.
I'll go ahead.
Oh,
I was about to
I
say
liked
something.
when. Oh yeah, you were welcome to say some of your favorites, but I'll start with one. When Q said to Dawn, like, your name should be Dusk because you look better in the dark.
That one was fantastic. Like
Mhm.
that was definitely in the top 3 for me.
Yep. What did
Not,
you have a favorite one, Lana?
I'm about to say, Xunami called Sapphira the Morgan Freeman of drag.
Drag. Oh my, yes.
The Morgan Freeman of drag. I can't.
Oh, I
And then
forgot about that. Oh,
that was a
Jesus,
double read,
that's so
though.
good.
That was a double
That
read because she corrected herself and said, "Wait, no, that's you, RuPaul."
That's you.
Oh,
yeah.
stop it! No.
Yes. Oh my God.
And we wonder why we got the result of this episode that we did.
Absolutely. Oh man. And then Q called Mhi'ya Danny DeVito. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay.
That's the second time there's been a
Danny
DeVito
DeVito.
reference to Mhi'ya
Yeah.
this whole season.
I mean, but you
Poor
know,
Mhi'ya.
Mhi'ya is, I love Mhi'ya, but she is kind of shaped like Danny DeVito. It's just,
Oh, it
it's just,
was Geneva last time, to be fair.
yeah. Yeah. And
She's
Geneva
got a
is
few Danny
also,
DeVitos.
and Geneva is also
Oh,
shaped
that's
like
right.
Danny
That's
DeVito.
right.
If we go be fair and be honest, I mean, I love Geneva and I love Mhi'ya, but they are kind of shaped like Danny DeVito. And ain't nothing wrong with that because I love Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
He's a beloved character, an American icon. We love Danny DeVito.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Did you have any
more-
favorites, Vic?
Oh, I like one thing. Like you all kind of mentioned. You all pretty much mentioned most of my favorites. I think there was one that Plain Jane said that I thought was pretty good. I cannot remember it for the life of me.
She had
but,
one to Q that I liked. I wonder if it might be that one where
yeah.
she was talking about how Q is in an open relationship, but she's like, but it's interesting because when you're out, couples see you, and that's when they decide to become monogamous.
Yeah, that was the one that I liked. Thank you. Thank you. Plasma's reads were, I mean, like, it was just like blood on the floor. Oh my gosh, she was harsh. She was really like, she's bringing out the claws a little bit this episode. Between like you know, at the start of the episode, like you were saying, David, you know, she's like, yeah, New York 4, top 4. And then I was just like, damn, okay, all right. Man, girl can be sharp.
Everybody
sure.
can. But
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, the last one that I liked, when Dawn was like, Xunami, that's a bold name for somebody who hasn't made any waves in the competition.
wow.
Yep.
My
there's the line.
jaw. I just went. I just like looked. I was like, I looked at my dog. I'm like,
It was like,
she just said that. Oh my God.
my lie detector is not moving because no lies detected.
lies.
I love Xunami, but she just ain't been doing.
It was just. It was too soon because it's before the worst thing happened to it. So that was like the.
But here's the wave.
The best thing happened
She won. There's the wave, Dawn. There is the wave. She made a wave.
Her second win. Second mini challenge win.
And yeah, and hey, that's a wave. It's a
4-foot wave
in the puddle.
Barely surf on. You know.
I mean, it don't have to be a huge wave. But she wins the mini challenge. Good on you, Xunami. And yeah. So then we get.
I just had another one. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But I'm so sorry. The plasma one. I was trying to think of like one of the plasma ones when you were saying that, but when she said that Sapphira being the first Philadelphia queen, she was expecting the Liberty Bell of drag, but instead she got a Philly cheese mistake.
what a mistake.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt. It hurt for her. I hurt for her when I heard that.
Yep.
Crazy. So then we get the Salem that this week it's gonna be Snatch Game. Woo!
With an appearance from Chad Michaels there in the
I know, right?
Must had appearance, by the
Michaels is
way.
here.
Love me some Chad. Like, yeah.
I know.
And I do know who Chad Michaels is.
She's looking more and more like Cher as the years go by. Like, it's uncanny at this point.
Literally turning into Cher. It's crazy.
Yep.
So go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I had to say.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say so. Chad was supportive of Morphine. Well, I keep saying Morphe because
wrong franchise.
Wrong franchise. Too many drag franchises are stuck in my head. Morphine. There she is. She was like, that's a good of Anna Delvey. Now I don't know who that is. Anybody know who that is? Anna Delvey.
Oh, yeah. There's a Netflix show on her, and like, yeah, she was just she pretended to be this like, you know, super rich heiress, and then just kind of pulled all these crazy scams and stuff. I mean, the impression, like the impression of that accent, it sounded like she was trying to do the impression of someone on SNL doing the impression of Anna Delvey. Yeah. I mean, I never watched that show or anything, so you know, but I watched a few things on her, but just a couple like news reports or whatever one time for like 5 minutes. So, you know.
Yeah, I had no idea who Anna Delvey was. I was like, I don't know who she is.
Me neither.
And that's the thing, if you're gonna make a splash, like, I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, like make a splash, you know, or if you're gonna be your own idea.
See, I'm upset, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm upset. I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm upset, and this is so sound crazy because Victor, you don't know this, but if the viewers, you might know, y'all know I just started this drag race journey this past year, and so I just started watching all the drag race franchises. And my only critique of Snatch Games has been, because I've only seen a lot of the international versions, was I don't really know the characters. I don't know the characters, so sometimes I can't relate to what's happening. And so maybe it's a little lost in translation for me. And so this season, because I watched All-Stars, the last All-Stars, and I watched their Snatch Game, knew some of the characters, but I think at that point I was kind of like over All-Stars, and I was like, I don't really want to watch All-Stars anymore because I ain't really like All-Stars that much. But I was like, I'm excited about 16 because I should know who these characters are. I should be able to listen and relate and not have to read the subtitles, and I can just listen and understand who all of these characters are and know these people, and it should be an interesting and fun Snatch Game for me. And I did not have that because some of these characters, I was like, who are you? I did not know who Anna was. I did not know who Plain's character was. I was just so annoyed, and I was like, it was more people I didn't know than I did know. But I was like, I'm glad I know some people, and I knew some of these characters. But then the other ones, I was like, I have no idea.
But this is the thing, and I'm sorry to interject, but like when it comes to Plain Jane's character, even though we didn't know who she was very entertaining, and you got the sense of who she was just from the way.
Right, and I was gonna say, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, you know,
I like. And my thing is going into Snatch Game, even on the international brands, it's like, I might not know who you are, but I want you to make me enjoy this character. Make me like this person, regardless if I know who they are or not. And some people deliver and others don't. I think Plain delivered. We'll talk about that when we get to the actual Snatch Game. But I was just like, when they were going through their characters, I was like, I don't know who this person is. And I don't know who this person is. But we'll see what happened. It was still a good Snatch Game. I'm not gonna lie. I still enjoyed the Snatch Game overall.
Yeah, I think the benchmark of like somebody who takes a character that I don't know and still like absolutely kills it is Jinx Monsoon when she was Little Edie. I had no idea who Little Edie was, but I learned who that character was from Jinx Monsoon, and it's still one of the absolute best Snatch Game characters I've ever seen. So you can definitely make it work even
Love
without
Jinx.
me knowing who they are.
So anytime anybody mentions Jinx, I'm just like, love her so much.
Me too.
I adore Jinx.
Love that. So we
Yeah.
also here got Xunami and her made up character of the Gold Tooth Fairy. But they seemed to think that was a pretty good one. They were supportive of her, like, okay, you go ahead and do that. I don't know.
And here's my thing. She's like, I made up this character, the Gold Tooth Fairy. And I was like, excuse me, ma'am, you did not make up the Gold Tooth Fairy. And this is where I said I would mention Shea Coulee later on. But Miss Shea Coulee made up the Gold Tooth Fairy in the before and after runway in All Stars. That was her character that she had on that runway. And it was amazing. So give Shea Coulee some credit for that Gold Tooth Fairy.
That is a good.
Well,
good
Xunami,
That's
you heard
noted.
me. You heard what he said.
Duly noted.
Period. But then we saw about Jane's character of Jelena that I didn't know, but she played it. She played it. And then Nymphia was Jane Goodall. And I was like, okay.
Well, right. I think it was more Jane All Bad.
Oh, well. Tell us how you really feel.
Like I had to say it.
I'm about to say, tell us how you really feel, Victor. Like,
thank God her look was good.
Well, we'll talk about all of that. They were a little wondering about Mhi'ya's pick of Tiffany Pollard, who we all know is the HBIC, and you can't go no wrong if you know Miss Tiffany Pollard. But they were like, I don't know if you're loud enough, if your personality is strong enough to play someone like Tiffany Pollard. And Mhi'ya was like, I got it.
Mhi'ya listened though, and then was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing. Boom. And once again, not a real person, made up character, but related to somebody who you would expect to be, with that person. So like, I mean, again, super strong episode from Mhi'ya. Like, I'm like proud. I'm damn proud of her right now.
I'm proud of her. Oh,
yeah, I will admit I was terrified when she said Tiffany Pollard because I love New York so much, and I know that's cliche to say I love New York, but I've just seen too many people try and fail to do New York and Snatch Game, even people that are very talented.
Yeah.
It very much is.
Yeah.
And just who I see Mhi'ya to be is so different from Tiffany Pollard. So I can't think of anybody who could really nail it. Like out of all of the years I've watched Snatch Game, I don't know anybody who could pull off New York.
I mean, New York is New York.
Right.
You have I don't know anybody in the world who could pull off New York besides New York.
No.
It's just how she is, and it's like even watching her on just all the different shows she's been on, it's a different New York every single time, and it's like the New York from Flavor of Love is not the same New York for I Love New York, and the girl from I Love New York is not the same in Celebrity Big Brother, and then the girl from Celebrity Big Brother was not the same from House of Villains. And it's like, how many personalities live in your head, girl? Because baby, and I love every single one of them. Like I enjoy. She is reality TV gold. Like she's reality TV platinum. Like there's nobody. She's rare, and I will watch anything she's on just to see what bag she's going to come out of. But.
Oh, you know who would be a good character to see somebody do? And I'm not sure if she would be like well known still, but I would love to see somebody try to pull off New York's mother, Sister Patterson.
Oh, yeah. Sister Patterson, baby.
She is a character.
Somebody that she's enough of a character to where somebody else could easily exaggerate that.
Could you imagine a world where it's a Snatch Game happening and somebody plays Tiffany and somebody plays Sister Patterson? Could you imagine the same snap? Like if they can't pull off a double win because somebody playing Sister Patterson and somebody playing Tiffany, because the dynamic between Tiffany and Sister Patterson is incredible. Because Tiffany is HBIC, da da da. I'm gonna run this. I run New York. I am New York. Blah blah blah. But as soon as Sister Patterson says something to her, she turns into quiet mouth like, "Mom." But mother, mom, no, mom. But I'm the HBIC. I run this, mom. I just. Oh my god.
You bring up an interesting point. I wonder why no queens have ever really, or unless they've done it in behind the scenes, have actually tried to, not necessarily like, be a couple sort of a couple thing, but be like, I'm gonna do this. This is a good foil for this, like.
Okay, I might have to refresh your memory and teach Lana about something, unless you've already heard about this. But let's rewind 6 years to season 10 of Drag Race. We had one person decide to be Beyonce, and independently, somebody else decided they were going to be Blue Ivy. And so we did have mother and daughter, and it was a disaster. It was a disaster. They could have been the bottom two.
But that's what I'm saying. If they decided to like make an alliance and be like, all right, you're Beyonce, I'm Blue, or if you're across the workroom, honey, be like, oh, you're gonna be okay. Let's try to not be in the bottom two. Like, all right, let's make this work. It's like you got to think strategically.
Absolutely. But David, you don't even have to rewind 10 years or 6 years. Go back to Drag Race España.
I knew that's where you were going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they had that one guy and then that political guy and then his mistress.
Yes, it was Ornella and what is her name? Vanya. Yeah.
Yeah. They had one where he was the political figure and she was his mistress, and they didn't plan it, but they were at the top because they worked so well off of each other, and they were just like playing. It was good.
And we said it should have been a double win.
It should have been a double win.
Drag Race. Take that note. Future queens of Drag Race, if you're watching this, when you go on.
And some queens do watch it, so okay. But yeah, so we get all of that, and we see Sapphira's go do James Brown, and Jane has not used her immunity potion yet, so she only has 3 more opportunities to do that. So you should know. You should use it. So then we go to Snatch Game. So I'm just let's do it. So I'm not gonna play the music yet because it's really not that time yet. But oh no, I know what I knew. I forgot to do something.
Also, do you think that the only reason why Nymphia went as Jane Goodall because it was the closest banana reference that she could find? Because literally, like even in the read, like knock knock banana, knock knock banana. Nymphia, that's what you sound like.
That's
right.
So crazy.
No, that's a good point. I would not be surprised if that's why she chose that character, to be honest.
I honestly could see it because she literally has bananas on the brain. I wasn't going to say like banana brains because she's a smart person. But
I have to fix this as we talk. Keep talking because
right
now you're no longer on screen. Right, you're no longer on the screen. I forgot to fix that last night when I changed it because.
Yep, but I do remember like when they showed the preview for this episode last week, and they showed a little bit of Nymphia doing the Jane Goodall and like making those chimp noises. I was like, okay, she's winning. This is her second win coming, or her third win, I guess. Boy, was I wrong, and we will get into it very shortly.
That's a real thing with the editing. Like if you watch Drag Race long enough, you can either tell when they're trying to trick you or like or you're not even sure. Like that's one of those moments, and like they're good with that. Where it's like you think they're saying it's a one queen, and then no, it's completely different queen. But yeah, I expect, especially because like Nymphia in the more acting and performative challenge, like I mean in the musical episode, like even though like what was that character? It was a very interesting character that they created for the musical that Nymphia had to play. But I thought that like she can act, she can express herself. She is funny, but it was just this time around, unfortunately.
All right, there we go. I'm sorry, I just had to fix that up because that was not cute. But here we are. The judges are here.
Mm-hmm.
This is our panel. Looking, how they looking? I said, Ru, could this dress get any shorter? But
right.
She's winking at us.
She is winking at us. I was like, all right.
Yeah. It's not my favorite outfit, but it's definitely better than last week's.
Yes.
Oh my God. What? RuPaul, what was that? You're better than that. I don't know what happened. I don't know if like an alternate universe you came in and said, this is how I dress now, and then left. But like, girl.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting seeing Ru changing these looks from her looks here on 16 to her looks in UK versus the world. And I was like, you're doing much better in the UK. You're giving them much better looks than you're giving us over here. I don't know what's happening, but you're giving us better looks over there.
Yeah. This
I couldn't even remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember which show it was that she had that awful look on, but I guess it was 16. I was like, was it because she was sick in the UK and she had really bad taste that day? But I guess not.
Yeah, it was. I mean, her UK looks one was really good, the other one was kind of, and then last week was pretty good. Was like, okay, you back. 16, she's just all over the place. I don't know what's happening with Ru in this one, but
she's got to fire a stylist or something.
Michelle, this is very common. Like, it's cute, but still matronly. We said that about her in UK. Just this.
It's like, it's cute, but it's still a Long Island mother going to a wedding.
Yeah,
it's just there's still a little bit. It's just like, I mean, I've appreciated how much she's tried to kind of class it up a little bit more, sort of elevate her looks and stuff. And I mean, like, I think her hair is just gorgeous now. I think her hair looks amazing there. Like it's a nice look, but not my favorite.
All right. Well, let's get into it.
Kira Sedgwick, I do want to mention her. I think she looks cute, but I was so happy to see her on the show because one of my favorite movies growing up is a movie that came out in 1993. It's called Hearts and Soul. I don't know if either of you have seen it, but she was like a guardian angel for Robert Downey Jr. in that movie.
Absolutely.
And I just love that movie. So just seeing her on here, it just reminded me of being a little kid and watching that movie over and over again.
I definitely know this movie. Love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Kira Sedgwick is one of my favorite, like, underrated art actresses to me. Like, she's somebody who you know who she is, even if you don't know her name. You've seen her in something. Like, I've seen her somewhere. I do really like Kira Sedgwick.
She seems very genuine. She's adorable. She's just and she's great in any role I've ever seen her in.
She looks so small standing next to RuPaul.
I know.
She looks so like tiny in this, but I just do love her. But we move to, of course, the Snatch Game. Now we get ready to talk about everything that we've been dying to talk about. So I'm going to let you all go from top row to the bottom row, and you can give your critiques and thoughts on the characters. So, David, I will start with you.
Yeah, so starting with Q, I'm going to give very brief thoughts. And I went ahead and ranked everybody for where I would have placed them. So yeah, I thought that she had some pretty decent jokes, and she was able to volley off of people. Like, there's one point when somebody was not being able to get their thoughts out very well, and she's like, "And I thought I went all over the place with my plane." So I thought that was really funny. She was pretty good at like volleying off of people. I think she was a solid number 4 for me. Like, she was as close to the top without being in the top for me.
Victor, what you think about Q?
Q. I have always had a soft spot for Q, but I did feel I agree with David on that. Like the volleys were better than her actual responses. It felt like she kind of stumbled on the responses and didn't feel super confident in the character, or like just a little uncomfortable because I mean when you see Q in doing her thing when she's strong, she is strong. Like she's just amazing. I mean. Going back to the musical episode last week, but so this was a little lackluster, but like I enjoyed her volleys, but yeah, so it's more kind of mid tier this episode, I guess, on the Snatch Game.
I was just shocked that she picked this character. I was like,
yeah, it was out of the blue.
I was like, what's so funny about Amelia Earhart? What's funny about her? Like, what could you do to make a character like Amelia Earhart funny? And I feel like she did the best she could, but it was a little flat, but it wasn't horrible. Like, she wasn't the worst. Absolutely not the worst.
Not even close.
Not even close to the worst. But I was just like, you picked the character that's going to be very hard for you to make funny, and it showed itself a little bit. But like I said, the volleys saved her. Going back and forth with people and bantering back and forth, I think saved her from just being a total flop. Because man, Amelia Earhart, I don't know what to say to make her funny, but she did all right. She did all right.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we have Xunami Muse. So first of all, I do want to say I really think they wanted her to fail this episode. There's sometimes where I see RuPaul, when he's asking questions to the queens, they'll give a response, but then he'll just keep digging. Like, what do you mean by that? And it just feels like he's trying to help them like dig their hole deeper and deeper. And there were a couple times he did that with Xunami. Like, he wouldn't just take the answer and move on. He just kept making it worse for her. He was like, here's a shovel. Let's dig it together. So I do think she struggled a lot. And part of it was just because of the abundance of questions she kept getting. My biggest issue with her character, though, was why was it a gold tooth fairy in the first place? Like, nothing about what she did had any differences from a regular tooth fairy. If you're going to like have a play off of like gold teeth, you would think that you would add some sort of characterization that would lead into that, even if it is like stereotypes, I guess. But she just kind of played herself in it, and I was disappointed. But I guess she played herself, but Candy Muse is famous for doing that too. I will be honest, I did rank her 9 out of 9.
Yeah, I mean, definitely deserved the leave after that, because the thing is that if you're gonna make up your own character, be strong, be confident in that. Also, like, if you're the gold tooth fairy, while you're making your outfits, try to be thinking about just like weird situations that you'd be in as this character. It's like she didn't, I don't even think she knew that she wanted to be the gold tooth fairy from the way it felt like it was almost like she was just taking random words out of the air. Like, I put the bones and the money in my piggy bank, and then I break it. And Ru's like, what? Because we're all like, what is happening? Well, are you having a stroke? What is going on? It was sad because I've liked a lot of Xunami's looks. I thought she's had an interesting, and a good vibe and journey throughout the season, but it was time, I feel like. Now, Snatch Game separates the wheat from the chaff. So, it's getting into serious business time now. So, definitely deserve the kick.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to do the gold tooth fairy and you're making it as a whole different character, outside of the regular tooth fairy, then I agree with you, David, lean into the character, even if it's stereotypical, because it's definitely stereotypical, but you could do so many different things, because you could be the gold tooth character from the hood and be like, yeah, because I'm the gold tooth, and that's what the thugs and do that. But then you can also turn that character into the go-to character from the Pirates, because when Pirates and they had gold teeth too. So you could like switch it up mid Snatch Game and be like, oh, I had to make a delivery on that pirate ship, ho, 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 like, R. And they're like, wait, what is happening? And then she could switch up like, oh, I had to go pick up a thing in the hood. Shots was fired, and I had to get out of there real quick. Like, all the different things. And then the gold tooth hillbillies, because the hillbillies got gold teeth too. So you switch it up and like, oh, I had to go pick up things from the hillbilly in the mountain, got some moonshine for just something to make the character relatable to gold tooth. Like anybody with gold teeth, you just need to lean into the thing. And while they're not talking, you be like, oh no, y'all go ahead. I have to go pick up a tooth from somebody, and then you come back as that character, the hillbilly, the hood.
Even when Chad Michaels was talking to Xunami, he's like, "Oh, you're doing your own character. You're writing a blank check." Like,
absolutely,
it's like you literally can make yourself as funny as you want to be, because you can be anything that is the most you that is funny, and then just put it in that character. Insert the scenario,
Yeah, it could be the weirdest and craziest and outrage. And I think in that Snatch Game, that's what they want you to do. As long as you can answer and give some funny whips and quips and stuff, man, she, like you said, she had a blank check, but she blew it kind of. All right, David, what is next for you?
Yeah, so next up we had Nymphia Wind as Jane Goodall. Like I said, I kind of had high expectations from her after I saw her in the preview. I thought this was a funny concept. I actually thought there was a lot to do with Jane Goodall. But unfortunately, she kind of started off strong with the monkey noises or the chimp noises. But then it just kind of flatlined. She didn't have anywhere to go. It just seemed kind of redundant and repetitive. And it was a lot of relying on props and just making the sounds. So I don't know what happened here. I really thought she would have the comedic timing for this, but it just really fell flat. This was my number 8. I think she should have been in the bottom 2.
Agreed. Nymphia, I mean, like, as much of a fan of basically every look that she's turned on the runway, literally, like this entire season, it just no good. Just that was very disappointing. I think with how intelligent and strategic and talented Nymphia is, and seeing last week how expressive she was as this kooky character, and just seeing her in the past, it's just I expected a lot more. And yeah, I feel like Nymphia and Xunami should have been bottom 2, lip syncing for the life, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So let's go ahead and move on to Dawn. So this might be a hot take for me, but I just one more notch up. She was in my bottom 3. I was not impressed with Dawn in this. First of all, I really didn't like her makeup in this. You can tell that she's not used to doing like normal girl makeup, because it looked a mess to me. Like I love her fairy looks, but this was not good. But my bigger issue was that the whole, like, her way of talking, her way of delivering lines, I was just getting Dawn. Like, I wasn't really getting a lot of the character. Like, she was saying some of the right things, but she was just presenting it with her same kind of timbre to her voice. So I was just very disappointed. It fell flat for me.
It was boring.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it was off, because it just felt like Dawn in a Meghan McCain drag, like that. Just, but everything else was just Dawn. I mean, like, when we start talking about some of the people on the lower level, we'll definitely get to the complete opposite and antithesis of that flatlining that was the majority of the top row, unfortunately. Yeah. The thing is that, like, I have liked Dawn, but Dawn has felt hit or miss throughout this entire season. Some of Dawn's creativity and looks have definitely saved her. And she is multifaceted enough to get through into these later episodes, but I'm seeing a lot more of the weak chain, like the weakness in the chains, or the chains starting to kind of break here and there. I totally said that wrong, but I hope you all understand what I meant.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay, let's move down to the bottom row. Finally, things are going to get better immediately because we're going to talk about Sapphira. Yes. So Sapphira was James Brown. This feels like this will be like, especially among the most recent seasons of Drag Race, this feels like a character I'm going to remember for a while because she killed it. I am going to say, I think she was my number one. It was pretty close between two people, but I think just by a hair, I gave her the number one spot. I think she was smart to pick a character that has a connection to Ru. She made that very clear that that's why she picked this character. She picked a character that sings. She sings. She picked a character that she could really just volley in general with everybody. My favorite part of the whole Snatch Game was when RuPaul called out her shoes. She's like,
wearing your character shoes?
You wore those character shoes last week. And Sapphira's like, what do you mean? My name's James Brown. I don't have any character shoes. We haven't seen each other since 1969.
What you talking about? We ain't seen each other in 1969. I don't have character shoes. I was laughing. She was awesome.
Even like her little titty bounce she did after the
picture. Oh yeah, that was cute. Yeah.
She was so good. So good.
Yeah. Definitely up there for me too. Absolutely. I mean, it was literally just like back and forth between Plain Jane and Sapphira for like those top two for me. But of course we'll get to Plain Jane later. But Sapphira like just killed it. And the repartee when Ru came at the shoes and she's just like all right, okay, like, and I mean, with James Brown, you gotta be 1,000% more than who you are, even as a drag queen. You just got to bring it like 10 times more because he's just such a high energy, boisterous character. And Sapphira did it right. Like, definitely, feel like could have won, but and definitely maybe should have won. But yeah, we'll get to Plain Jane and my thoughts on that later.
Did you have other thoughts, Lana, or should we move on? Okay, so let's move on to Plasma. She decided to be Patti LuPone. So I don't know if a lot of people know who Patti LuPone is these days. I know her mainly from watching a show called Life Goes On. She was the mom in that. I've seen her in a few other things. But what I know Patti LuPone to be is not really what I was getting from Plasma in this. I was getting just a generic, like old school Hollywood Broadway person from Plasma. Like it feels like a character I've seen her do a lot in the episode so far. So it was like she had some jokes, she had a good delivery, but I just didn't get Patti LuPone from it.
You could call her a one-trick LuPone.
There we go. See, this is why you're here.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you got the right audience right now because I love me some dad jokes. But yeah, I will say Plasma was right smack in the middle for me. She was number 5 for me.
Yeah, she's tied for lower middle with basically the next one that we'll get to, but I'll get to that. But Plasma, yeah, it's just throughout this, we'll bring up Jinx again. Jinx did somebody that nobody knows and destroyed it. I mean, like iconic, an iconic Snatch Game. Plasma, yeah, she does a lot of old ladies that do theater, and that is her thing. But it's kind of sounding like Banana now,
Pretty much.
It's her Banana. Yeah. Also, I feel like she could blend her nose just a little better. It just always bothers me.
Yeah, I do think her makeup has improved, but she's kind of like the Marsha of this season.
But she's weak in her blending. in certain
Right.
parts. It kind of ruins the fantasy for me a little bit, Yeah.
I agree. Should we move on, or Lana, did you have any? Okay. Let's move on to Morphine. As we said, she was playing Anna Delvey, a character I'm not familiar with at all. But what I liked about Morphine is that she immediately showed me who this character was. Whether it was right or wrong, I got a character from her. The character I got was kind of like Edna mode. Like, I was definitely picking up on that vibe. I thought it was a bold choice to insult RuPaul right off the bat, saying you look poor. Maybe that's why she was in the bottom. Hey, the two people that insulted RuPaul this episode ended up in the bottom too. What the heck? But overall, I thought she was fine. She just didn't have a lot of jokes. So she actually would have got my 6th spot overall.
Yeah, it was very one note. Because the thing is that like that's kind of the you're poor. That is like the one joke that you can do with her, and it's hard to get outside of that when she is literally that one note of a person, unless you're a pretty good improviser, I think, like at that point, or at least know a lot about her to kind of find the funny. She didn't find the funny. She knew what the 2 jokes that she could say was, and she repeated them just ad nauseum, and it was not great. Definitely like definitely bottom 3 for sure for me.
Fair.
Yeah, I was kind of like, all right. That's how I felt about Morphine the whole time. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. And that's it. It really was nothing else. It was just noises for her.
Yes.
Well, let's get to my biggest surprise of the night, which is Mhi'ya.
Everybody's biggest surprise of the night, I think.
Yes. She
could not believe it. Yeah.
She was Trina's cousin, Shaquita. So I thought it was really smart for her to just make up a character, and RuPaul gave her the advice, just try to be one of your friends. So I imagine she was just really channeling a friend of hers that might act this way. And you know what? I kind of wish this had been the characterization that Xunami would have had, because that would have made more sense. And I think she would have been able to have more fun and just loosen up, because Mhi'ya was so loose with this, and she was just making me laugh. Like, she just completely broke out of her shell. Like, I don't even remember the question, but there was one of her cards that said "as," and just the way she delivered it. Yeah, she just was a revelation this episode with Snatch Game. I will say with Snatch Game, because she wasn't great in the reading challenge, and I will give her some critiques later on.
Oh my God, that one joke. She's like, "You look like an old lady dance, like old ladies dancing." You're like, and even the person she read was like, "What?"
Yeah, everybody was like, ah. She's like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah,
but this was successful.
I'm not gonna get on Mhi'ya too much about reading. I would suck at a reading challenge, because that is not my strong suit. I'm not like quick witted to come at somebody like, and so. No, I would be like,
I'd be too mean like Plasma, and that's why I don't read, because it's always too mean. And I'm like, "Oh, I hurt your soul. No, I'm so sorry."
My reads to be so lame. I'm like, "Oh, you look like an ogre." I'm like, that's not funny. I know. I don't have anything else to say. So,
but yes, she was number 3 for me. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, she was just great. Really turned things around. That win, in that lip sync last week, not doing the flips. Like I remember, David, you were saying earlier, like just it gave her this boost of confidence that she needed to bring herself out there. And yeah, she said it herself. Like, she knows she has more in her. She's starting to listen to the judges. She's putting herself out there. Like, I loved it. I loved seeing it from her.
And then last we have Plain Jane. I cannot remember her character. It was like Julia something.
Like
Carcass
guy or something.
Who is a Serbian pop star?
Carlusa, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately you could tell Rue was loving her character, and she just wasn't missing any jokes. I think she was probably the person that volleyed off of people the best. Like there was one point when Morphine was like, "Yes, we dated once," and she's like, "What? I would never date you, an ugly man like
That's an
you."
ugly man. Oh my god. Just
Uh,
I was dying. Yeah,
yeah.
it was an incredible Snatch Game. I mean, it was definitely neck and neck, but with how on she was for every single joke and the amount that they edited her stuff in tells me that she was on more than Sapphira, and that's why she won. I think like
Mm.
Sapphira probably had some other stuff as James Brown, but maybe it wasn't funny enough or something. It just wasn't hitting. So I think that's probably the only thing that probably like had her take it over Sapphira, in my opinion.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, Lana?
Jane was good. Got to give her props for props to
Mhm.
do. I laughed at Jane. I laughed a lot with Jane. I do think her and Sapphira were the absolute, like, they could have gave them a double win and I would have been like, deserved. Absolutely deserved.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they ate.
I almost thought they might get a double win, to be honest.
They kind of should have, if you want to be honest.
It was real close.
But that's Snatch Game, y'all.
Yeah.
But
we do have some workroom stuff to talk
I
about.
was going to get to that. I was definitely going to get back to that because we do have to go to the workroom because I haven't played my music yet. That means we're not there yet. So we got to go back to the workroom and have some conversations about how people felt about the Snatch Game. So workroom stuff.
I think one of the first conversations we see is Xunami and Sapphira talking, and Xunami seems to be pretty optimistic about how things went, and Sapphira is giving her a dose of reality. She's like, I'm not even sure if you're going to be safe, girl. You might be low. And Tsunami's like, wait, really? I'm like, you didn't know?
Yes, honey. Were you there?
You didn't see that.
Nymphia knows. Nymphia knows that she's in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then also Morphine's pretty nervous too. She goes up to Plain Jane and she's like, hey, about that potion. You want to let a sister have it? And Jane's so dirty. She says, no, sister, you don't need it. I don't think I need to use it on you. But she doesn't care if she needs it or not. She's not going to use it on her.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Jane is very I'm gonna keep all my potions to myself until she absolutely has to use it, and hopefully she's like, if I gotta use it on me, I'm gonna wait to the very last minute.
Plain Jane is very Russian.
Yeah. She is not going to use it on anybody else unless she feels very safe in that last week and she knows she's good, and then she can save somebody. But if she get a whiff of she might be in the bottom, she using it for herself. Absolutely. And she should. She earned that.
She should, but she's turning over those leaves, right? Every week.
Oh yeah, just all of the new leaves. I love that. That's not like just an ongoing joke with all of them. They're like, I love it.
Yep.
Like that's more playful. Yeah.
Another new leaf. Good.
We saw Plasma at the beginning of the episode with Nymphia's leaf from her look last week, and she's like, here's your leaf, it's turning over. But yeah, speaking of Plain Jane, and we keep calling her Jane, but she clearly likes to be called Plain and not Jane. So sorry. Plain started talking about how things are in Russia and how she's not really able to go back to Russia. She says it's not illegal to be gay in Russia, but there's no protection for you against violence or even being arrested for certain things. And then she talks a little bit about her babushka, her grandmother. They were very close. And I think that's where she learned a lot her Russianisms from. And unfortunately, she passed away before she could ever see her in drag. So that was kind of a sad story. But it wasn't the only sad story we had, because Sapphira afterwards was talking about her dad and how when she came out to the family, he was not accepting of it at all.
So
She talked about a conversation her mom had with her dad where he said, the worst thing my son can tell me is that he's gay. And his mom said, the worst thing that I could hear about my son is that he's dead. So you need to fix your priorities. And it sounded like there was a big turnaround after that conversation. They ended up getting much closer. And I think Sapphira said last May, he came to one of her drag shows for the first time. I was like, you need to be on that drag show, that drag TV show. But unfortunately, we found out that he passed away from COVID, so he never got to see her on TV. But at least there was more closure with their relationship. So that was good news, I guess.
Yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Shout out to his mom for putting him in his place and making him realize what priorities are. And yeah, that is not the worst thing your child can tell you is that they're gay. They could be dead or something worse than that. A worse thing it's a whole lot more in between being gay being the worst thing somebody could tell you as a parent. Like, shout out to his mom for that. And then I'm very glad that they had some kind of revelation and closure and reconnecting, because not a lot of people have that. Their parents leave this earth with them not ever being able to have some kind of closure or acceptance of some kind.
Yeah, I understand that, empathize with that for sure. And like when it comes to some of those, like not having clothes, like when it comes like playing, I've been finding myself through the weeks, the more that I learn about her and the more that I see her more playfully, poking rather than, sort of butting heads. It's like I begrudgingly started to kind of like empathize a little bit, root for her a little bit more, cheer for her a little bit more when she wins. It's like I get where it comes from a little bit more, and it's like I can kind of brush it off a little bit more when I see her doing that to somebody else. It's like, okay, yeah, she's a tough fighter, like right,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think after you hear some stories and people, you understand their background and their history, how they are acting, it makes sense. It's like, okay, I see why you're doing that. This is a part of who you become because of circumstance, who you become because of things that happened to you in your past. And so sometimes people act out. I think Jane has realized that she doesn't have to be so tough all the time. She don't have to be so mean all the time. It is people out there who actually do care about you. Like, these girls could actually be good sisters of hers if she allows them in. And so I think she's starting to realize, like, slowly but surely, like, okay. I don't have to do that. I don't have to be as guarded. But she has been guarded her whole life. So it makes sense. We definitely have to look at people's past to understand who they are today.
Yeah.
And know that things can change. So, but I think we're there. Are we there, David?
We're there.
We're there. It's time. Yeah. The category is Dancing Queens. And we gonna get right into it. Although David never said anything about my background, which I'm very
it's beautiful. I love this background. Great job, Lana.
Thank you, David.
Thank
you. I'm very needy, David.
I was just like mesmerized by it. I was
staring. Okay. That
angelic.
That makes me better.
I wasn't saying anything at all because I was just speechless.
Thank you.
I liked it more than David. So
wait, you like it better than you like me, or you
maybe
like
playing James
James
rubbing off on me a little bit.
I think he liked it better than you liked it.
Okay. I was about to say, you're going to throw all these years of our friendship under
background that I did not do, but it's okay. Anyway, up first is you, and she's a dance machine. She's a dance machine. A robot.
Yes.
Exactly.
So yes, Q's dance was the robot. Um, uh, I'm gonna get it out of the way. This is the worst thing she's worn on the show so far. Um, in my heart of hearts, in my brain, I'm telling myself, oh, you were just doing a cute homage to Bob the Drag Queen back in season 8 when Bob on the roller skates runway had a robot look, and Bob still gets made fun of all the time for that robot look. But I'm like, you did a colorful version of it. So I'm hoping it was an homage to that and that she doesn't think this looks good. I will say, this does look better than Bob's because you can tell that it was actually crafted by her and it wasn't just bought off of Amazon like Bob's bodysuit was. So yeah, it's definitely not my favorite, but it's
Well,
there.
yeah, one thing I'll say is she chose to put that together and put it on. She wore that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, this is probably like my just least favorite look of several seasons, perhaps at this point. I mean, I have loved so much of Q's looks, and this look broke my heart a little bit. Like it felt like Q betrayed me. I'm like, I thought you were better than this. Like, I'm not a fan. Of very, very, just not a fan. I saw it again and had to put my face in my hat for a second just to like process seeing that again for the third time this weekend.
I mean, okay, so I'm going to be a little nicer to Q than you two have been thus far, because we do know Q makes these outfits and Q makes her own looks, and she created the craftsmanship of this look is stunning. It's phenomenal. Like, it's like it's put together well. Now, is it cute put together? No. It's not cute put together, but it's put together well. Like, you won't see a more perfectly crafted, technically put together robot suit than what we're seeing. But it's just not cute once you put it all together, because overall the colors and all of that is just too much, and it's just not. It's not giving what we know Q could give. It's not giving what you would normally get. And this is Q's fault. Q, this is your fault, because you set the bar for yourself so high. And every look you've come out with before has been so great. This is just the weak link in your perfect, like in your armor of great outfits that you've had. This is the weak link.
It's like the one bad week look.
Absolutely. And I think everybody has those looks. Like, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, because some people come through and they just never miss on the runway.
Nymphia.
Well, I'm talking to you, Miss Melissa Banchini. Never missing on the runway.
Oh, yes.
DragRace Italia.
DragRace Italia.
Never missing on a runway ever. Ever. Never miss. But this is just her weak link. I think this is her one miss. And I'm not gonna penalize Q that much for her one miss.
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for the both of us. Q, I love you, girl. Like, you're one of my favorites this season, but like it's day one, but this is not it. Like, this is like congratulations for doing so well at creating something so horrible. Like,
well, this is about to get interesting.
It's about to be interesting, these scores. So we score from 1 to 100. So,
or 0 to 100. And people do give zeros quite frequently. I do not. I'm pretty generous, but yet not as generous as anybody else. But I will say, last week, Q got my first perfect score this season. This will not be a perfect score. I gave this a 53.
Okay. Victor, what is your score?
I'll give it a high 37 for the craftsmanship. It's one of my least favorite looks that I've ever, like, other than Bob's too. Like, even then, but yeah, it's bad. It's low.
I looked at the craftsmanship. I looked at what it is. And I gave her a 69.
Nice.
I'm only giving it the 37 because of what you said about the craftsmanship.
But we move.
We do.
Up next is Miss Xunami Muse doing the salsa.
Yeah. So I liked how she delivered this. Part of me wondered, like, did they know this was going to be a look for the main stage? Because this doesn't give me that she was thinking, oh, I'm going to be walking down the runway. I wonder if she thought this was going to be for like a mini challenge or something. Because this, I do not think is quite up to her standards. She's had some incredible looks. I don't think this is bad by any means. It's just a little basic. But what I did like about it was how it moved when she moved. It flowed really well when she was dancing across the stage. So I don't hate it. It's not quite as good as I want to see from her, especially in her last episode. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it feels like she forgot the rest of the outfit or something. Like this is nice, chic, elegant, and also the way it moved and the shape on her body was very, very beautiful. But this is like going to the Emmys rather than going to the Met. And like when you're on Drag Race, it's like you're trying to make something. Every runway is like you're trying to go to the it's just you're trying to elevate it to this couture level. I mean, even like with what Nymphia did in one of the first few episodes with just those ties and then made something so incredible. That's a part of what this is about. How can you take something like that, elevate it, make it more couture, make it more future, or future fashion, or really whatever it is? How does it stand out rather than just flowing nice on the body? So I give it more like I want to say just because of the lack of just the elevation, more like a 70. I'd say.
Wait, not yet.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, I think I agree with you, David. I don't think she knew this was for the main stage because Xunami has been giving us way better looks than this, and I think this is something that was like a oops kind of factor happened, and it's like I didn't realize this was going to be a main stage thing, and because we've heard before the briefs are not the same as when they give it to them when they come to the show. So things happen and they end up with a costume that wasn't meant for the main stage that now they have to make it the main stage. Is it pretty? Absolutely. Did she wear it well? Did she make it work with the performance? She did. But it's just when you standing on that stage next to the other people who brought their looks, it's not going to be one of the standout looks. It's okay. It's pretty. She looks gorgeous in it, but I just think it seems basic next to everybody else. Now we'll do the scores.
Okay. And now this is why I was mad because I also gave her a 70 and I didn't get to say it first.
Well, we have a panel full of 70s because that is exactly what I wrote down.
Interesting.
That is funny. Like we each independently
gave her a 70.
I think everyone's in universal agreement. Like just the world and the ether. It's a 70.
Yes. This for now, future podcasts, that is going to be the benchmark of what a 70 is.
Right. This is a 70. If you can't look like this, it's not a 70. Moving on to Miss Nymphia Wind.
Yes. Nymphia Wind, not a 70. She did the Japanese buto, which I'm not familiar with that dance, but I feel like I am now after seeing her perform it. This is incredible. Like, I don't even know where to begin to compliment this. I mean, she's already had some of my favorite looks this season, but this is way up there too. I love the face. I love the structure. I love the colors. I mean, I think Carson made a joke about it being potpourri, and you totally get that vibe, but in the best way. It's like if potpourri was fashion. I just thought she was stunning. Like, if anything saved her from being in the bottom two, it was this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, she keeps getting saved from, in bad weeks from the looks. Like, it's just never fails to impress me. And I can't remember which judge said it, but it was something along the lines of like not knowing wherever that wild, unabashed, just creativity and execution, it's beyond polish. It's just like she has brought some of the best looks by far to the stage again and again and again and again. And yeah, that absolutely would save that, you know. And also, I mean, just like putting traditional with wild and just sort of your own blend of creativity and you know, cultures. It's just it's a wonderful thing to see, and I loved every minute of it. Like on when she was on that stage, you know, that runway.
I mean, to describe her as potpourri, who doesn't love the smell of potpourri in your house? If you put potpourri in your house and you walk out and you walk back in, like,
it's couture.
it's so good. That's what this is.
Look at you, Victor.
Oh my God, I am on in one tonight.
I missed it. I was into my whole potpourri spiel.
Oh, he said couture. Wait, say it again.
Couture.
Absolutely. I mean, but that's what I felt like when I saw this outfit. It was like, this is beautiful. This is stunning. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you know, she did bad at the Snatch Game. Yeah, she did. But I don't want to see Nymphia go no time soon, because I want to see every look that Nymphia brought with her, because she's just been so on it on this runway every week. Yeah. It's good. Has she had a miss? Not for me. I have not seen Nymphia miss on this runway yet. It's just good. This is just good. It's just good. Yeah, I'm changing my score. But score.
Yeah.
I gave her a 98.
That was what I wrote down, but I changed it.
Yeah, I was about a 96, so I was right up there. I mean, it was close for me. Like, real close.
She gets a full cup for me, baby. That's full. This is so good. And the longer I look at it, the more I appreciate it and love it. So, full cup.
For sure.
Nymphia has a way just to tell a story and draw you in with so many different details, but everything makes sense. Even if there's chaos, it's still this beautifully weaved just tapestry of just gorgeous fashion. Like,
absolutely
fashion. Like, it's amazing. It's everything, you know.
It's good. Okay, we move to Zone. Zone is here.
Yeah, this was another one that made me think, like, oh, did you know this was going to be for the main stage runway? Not because it's not good. She does look good. It's just a bit straightforward, and that's not what I expect from Dawn. Like, I wanted to see more of her personality infused with polka. So yeah, it's pretty but simple. What's not simple though is that wig. I really was living for that wig the whole time she was walking down the runway. I thought that looked stunning. I loved the flowers in it. But yeah, part of me was like, they must have thought this was going to be for some other specific challenge than just a runway look. But overall, it's a good look.
Yeah, head up. I'm for it basically all the way. I thought, you know, yeah, Dawn can go a little bit crazy with the makeup, but but coming from where she comes from, yeah, you know, it's, I think it works with the way that she did it for this look. But yeah, it's just really, really just surprisingly basic for Dawn. Like, or I would expect it to just have some sort of either horror element or like a fantasy element or something, because it's like whatever you did, the queens that do it well, and we saw this, you know, with Nymphia. It's like you take something like, oh, I'm going to make potpourri high fashion and also put it in, you know, in a you know, classic traditional dance.
Lana, what are you laughing at? Tell the classroom.
You know what I'm laughing at.
I sent Lana a picture of Bob in her robot look. And that's what Lana's laughing at right now. So now you see the comparison, don't you?
No, because that's horrible.
It is horrible. But I'm like, why would you just do a colorful version of that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we move. Okay, please. Why'd you send me that? You knew I was gonna laugh. You knew I was gonna laugh.
What'd you think of Dawn?
Come on. Oh gosh. It's fine. It's polka. It's fine. And see, here's the thing. And I'm not gonna say because I do like what Dawn brings to the show. I love what Dawn brings to the show. And I love her unique style of what she does to the show. And I don't want her to change anything. But unfortunately, not wanting her to change anything, I'm starting to get tired of seeing it. You know what I mean? It's weird because I never want anybody to change their aesthetic and who they are as a drag queen. And this is Dawn's aesthetic. This is who she is. This is what it. But it's like after so long in the show, we can only see these looks so many times before it's like, all right, we know Dawn's gonna come out and her eye makeup is gonna be like this. And bless you. And you know, her makeup is gonna look like this. And then whatever the theme is, she's gonna have a nice outfit or interesting outfit to go. It's just like I think Dawn has hit a plateau for me where it's just like she's perfectly safe in a safe space, you know, and that's bad. And I hate that because I really do like Dawn and I really appreciate the artist and the queen that she is, but it's just kind of like, what else you got? And if this is all you got, then it's just like, okay, well then this is who you are and I just have to deal with it. But my scores are going to reflect how this standstill with Dawn. So, but I do like Dawn and I appreciate her for who she is. And I appreciate her aesthetic as a drag queen. But scores.
I gave her an 80.
I was high 70s. It's kind of between like a 75 and like a 78 kind of. So I'd say like a 77.
I gave her 72.
Yeah, it's like it's not my favorite, but it's not telling us. It's not doing anything either. You know,
It's not offensive, but it's not the best.
Yeah.
Man. Up next is Sapphira.
Drag you. Bitch, I'm about to drag you.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That was great. Like that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. This, like, the look itself is nothing amazing, but the way she delivered it made it one of my favorites of the night. Plus, I really love this wig on her. But I just know that girl. Like, I feel like she's a very specific person. Like, there could be like a spinoff of like Bring It On. But it's like the people doing the color guard and the drum line this time. But yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. I like the colors, the blue and orange complementary colors always work. But yeah,
I thought character shoes again.
Oh, yep. They're like, you always know how to camouflage those, don't you? That was hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was very good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, you know, yeah, it wasn't my favorite look from her, but the delivery, you know, so, you know, the colors, all of the details of it, I thought were very cute, fun. And yeah, that wig was working for her. Like it really helped, especially, you know, her being so much larger, you got to do a bit more to like kind of create more of a silhouette. And I thought that hair really helped with that. But yeah, not my favorite, but enjoyed the execution, enjoyed the delivery. It was a fun outfit. Yeah, it's a fun look.
I've been waiting for this all night to talk about this look. So please bear with me. I know this girl. I love this girl. I am this girl because this is everything that I saw in high school. This is everything you will see if you go to a HBCU. She is unapologetically being Black in this moment, and I am here for it. This is the girl who you went to school with, who was on the majorette team, and they were bucking it down in all the parades and in all the football games, and the band would come out and she would come out and she would pop 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 pop, but she pop pop pop. This is who she is. And then when she was doing the drag you, I'm here to drag you. That is literally every cheerleader at my school, all the predominantly Black schools, the HBCUs. You go to any football, basketball game or something like that, and this is what you see. This is what you see. And it's so good. When she came out, I was like, I feel seen. I feel like our community is being represented to the highest on this RuPaul's Drag Race. And she's doing it so well that it was undeniable. Like, they could not deny her. And we've seen a lot of Black queens on this show who do things very unapologetically Black and get called out for it or get criticized for it and who get downplayed for it, get kicked out for it. Hershey Licqour, I'm talking about her. She get kicked out for being unapologetically Black and auntie, and she is no longer on the show. So I love this. I love this when we can be who we are, be ourselves, be unapologetically who we are and represent our community, and you can't deny it. You can't deny how good it is. I was such a fan when I saw this. I was literally like, yes, it was. You said bring it on. You mentioned bring it on. This is the, if you've seen the Lifetime show, Bring It, with the girls in Mississippi, Diana, and she got this show called Bring It. It was on Lifetime, and now it's getting ready to come on another show. This is what it was about. It was the Black version of Dance Moms. I'll say that. Okay. It was a Black version of Dance Moms, where they would get this group from the Dancing Dolls from Jackson, Mississippi, and they would go out from competition to competitions and doing all these things and have buck downs and all. This is what it was. And I was loving that. So this was my favorite, one of my favorite things I saw on the stage. Is it my favorite outfit of the night? No, because that's still Nymphia, and that's still going to be
energy, the vibe, the
vibe and the energy and everything about this. I couldn't wait to talk about this. I was busting at the seams waiting to talk about this because, baby, if anybody gonna talk about somebody unapologetically Black on this here podcast, I am going to do it, and I am so happy for her. I love this. I love this moment. But
pure heart.
Scores.
Yeah, I will say you talked me up a few points because it was already one of my favorites, but I was like, just seeing the joy that it like brought out of you, even looking at her there, you can see she's so happy to be wearing this. So I gave her an 86.
Yeah, I was teetering back and forth between sort of like an 88 and a 92, but honestly, with what everything Lana was saying, and just remembering some of the heart and where that comes from, and yeah, it wasn't the most elevated look, and it wasn't my favorite look, but everything that it stood for, everything that it's, so I give it a 91. Really, yeah, it was a solid look. It wasn't my favorite, but that she's done, because I mean, she has done some stunning. She had turned. Oh my God,
last week.
But this felt like so much of her truth coming out, her heart coming out in this, and I love to see that, and it's just, that's the thing about Sapphira. I've loved Sapphira from like moment one, because it's just a genuinely good, strong heart, you know. And I love her. I love her for all of that. All of that.
I love her. Yeah, I gave her a 95. I just loved her in this moment, but. I'm glad I could talk up a couple of points for y'all. I'm very passionate about this.
You did good.
Up next is Plasma.
You mean who let the old lady in again?
Plasma. So she did tap. I will say first off, I do think this is a pretty simple outfit. What are you laughing about, Lana?
I did not realize tap was her dance. I was like, I breezed through the runway so quickly that I did not realize tap was her. This is not okay. Go ahead. Yep. Now my score is about to come in, but go ahead.
Oh, Okay, see, this is interesting because the look itself I thought was pretty basic. What I did like about the look though was the shiny tights. Like I was just kind of mesmerized by how they were just like the light was just flickering off of them the whole time. But what I did really like about this was her delivery of it. Like she did tap, and like I think that's maybe the best tap I've seen on the show. And I also liked her kind of interacting with the judges. Like there were multiple times where she was like saying things back to the judges in response to what they were saying. So I kind of like that. I wish we would see that more from queens, but then I say that and then watch it happen way too much. So maybe it should stay where it is. But overall I thought it was decent, not bad.
Yeah, it was another plasma look. It's just
Lana said, "Let's go back to Sapphira."
I really did. Like, let's talk about what I would. Sorry.
it's just this kind of milk toast plasma doing plasma. Yes, all right. You're a woman of the theater of the 60s and the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, and darling, we get it. Give us more, And yeah, it wasn't enough for me. It was low. It's just, yeah, it's a nice look, but again, like just kind of bland.
Okay, I agree. I thought I was the only one. Thank you. I'm so glad you feel that way, Victor, because I'm like, I feel the same way with plasma as I'm starting to feel about Dawn. I'm like,
Yeah.
What else is there? If this is your only POV and this is your only aesthetic, that's fine. Do you? But if you go make it to the duration of this show, and if I have to watch it every week, week after week after week after week after week,
yeah,
I want to see some types of variation in your genre. Like
Jinx Monsoon.
We've seen this look from you. We've seen this. So we've seen this. I want a little bit more, but if that's all you got, girl, do rock it till the wheels fall off. But just know I'm gonna be like a little bored by it.
Yeah, it's great, but you got to bring more. Like we're in episode 8, Snatch Game. It's serious now.
Right. Scores.
For my score, and I did give her a little extra boost for how she did the tap performance. I gave her a 73.
Yeah, I was at 74, actually.
Okay.
That's funny. You're similar thoughts.
I might be. I'm a little meaner than you all. She gets a 69.
Nice.
I only gave her a little more points than Xunami just because there was a little more to it.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Morphine.
So Morphine was flamenco. And this was one of my favorites of the night. I thought she looked very pretty in this. I do think the tail or the train was doing a lot of the work as she was walking down the runway, but I don't mind that. Like I think it makes sense for flamenco. Yeah, she was another one that just delivered it well. It was interesting seeing everybody try to do their own little dances, or some people like Dawn didn't really do the dance, but just kind of poked around, not doing polka. But yeah, I thought Morphine, she looked very pretty. Her makeup, as always, is stunning here. And I do prefer her in longer wigs. She does the short wigs a lot, but I just like this long hair on her. Overall, yeah, this was probably my top 3 of the night.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful. Just a very elegant outfit with a little bit of nice little reveal in there. Cutting it that high on the inside, I thought was a really smart thing to do, just to give that reveal. And yeah, I thought it was a very well put together outfit. It definitely was one of the better ones of the night. Morphine, I mean, her face is always painted pretty flawlessly. She's makeup was great. The whole look was just very well put together, and this was another one where you can tell it kind of came from her heart a little bit. Not as much as Sapphira, of course, but you were getting some of that truth.
Absolutely. I like this. I like this look. I thought her doing flamenco was perfect for her. She looked beautiful doing it. It was good. I liked it. I cannot be mad at it. It fit her perfectly, and I don't mind the train doing the work because that's what flamenco dancers do. That train is what does all the movement for them, and it gathers that. I loved it. I thought she looked great. She was one of the tops for me this week. So scores.
I gave her an 84.
Yeah, I gave an 86.
I gave it 88.
Nice.
Even.
Period. Love that for us. And we have Mhi'ya.
Okay, this is where I was not willing to be like, oh, Mhi'ya just had such a great episode across the board because I hate this. I do not like this at all. Okay, this is 90s hip hop. I've never seen anybody wear anything like
Sponsored
this.
by McDonald's.
And maybe it's, that's exactly what I wrote down. Ronald McDonald Pirate. And I think one of the other judges, after I watched my second viewing, they mentioned a pirate too. They said ketchup and mustard pirate.
Yeah.
And then why this mullet? Oh, girl. And then the yellow makeup on her face. This was not it for me. As much as I did not care for that robot look that Q did, this was my least favorite of the night.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm so glad that she was still in the top 3 despite this kind of atrocity here.
I kind of give her grace for this look just because of how well she did in the rest of the episode. But like, my God, it's another atrocity. Did her and Q get together and go like, hey, let's make literally the worst things people can look at. All right, it's our week, honey. Let's go. But yeah, that's the thing. You do yellow and red. You have to be very careful. Like those are literally the specific, yellow, chemically mustard and it's just hot dog. Like, it was not good. Also, like, I don't know what was going on. I was not a fan of the makeup this week. The wig, girl, the whole thing was just a no for me. And yeah, like, is she also going to be using those sleeves to like parachute out the damn building later or something? Like, what is happening? Why is there a pirate fly dancer on In Living Color right now? Like, what is going on? It was not my favorite.
This is not 90s hip hop.
Okay, thank God. I was like, do I not know 90s hip hop?
No, this not even. They wouldn't wear this on Living Color. They wouldn't wear this on Living Single.
No, it's a pirate. It's a pirate that's what a pirate thinks that In Living Color a fly girl looks like.
Nobody
from description only.
Vanilla Ice's dancers wouldn't wear this look, and he was so ridiculously far away from hip hop. But like, this is so not good. This is not 90s hip. So many ways she could have went with 90s hip hop and dance with this one. Like, so many ways she could have took that look and made it
look good.
But this wasn't it. This just,
it's like if Missy Elliott had a stroke or something.
And see, here's the thing. Like, remember when I
don't wish that on her. Like,
remember, David, a few weeks back when I was going off of how they were saying her Little Kim outfit was like Missy Elliott,
right?
And it was just because of the how she could have pulled out something like that, and that would have been 90s hip hop. Like, give me, like, she could have came out. This is the perfect opportunity for her to come out in the Missy Elliott trash bag iconic look with the Timberland boots and be like, I'm doing hip hop dancing, bop, bop, bop. And it would have been like very cultural, iconic to hip hop dancing. Or heck, put on a pair of baggy jeans, put on your cross colors, put on your faded, black, the hat to the back, hat to the side, your mushroom haircut, like salt and pepper. Like, this is when you could have did that and it would have made so much sense. You have so many cultural references. You knew this wasn't no 90s hip hop, but I'm again thinking, was this the brief that they were given?
Yeah.
And now is this what they're coming? She had to come up with
Mm.
because the brief that she was given is not the brief that they brought on the stage. It's too many people having these. Well, we're like, did they realize what? For me not to believe that this was something that production told them, but they didn't think it was for this main stage. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe that we got some other things happening here. So, but I'm not a fan of this either. So scores.
My score just kept dropping and dropping. The more I looked at it, we should have done scores right away if we wanted to give her a decent score from me. I give her a 29.
Oof.
Yeah, I was tied with Q for the 37.
I mean, I also tied it with Q, so 69 is what she gets.
Okay.
It's just
All right then.
and Plain Jane.
Yeah, so Plain was doing Latin ballroom, and at first I was like, why would you do Latin ballroom? But she said that that's the kind of dance she grew up doing was Latin ballroom. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I do think this is a very cute dress on her. I really like the top part, the bustier, is that what it's called, Lana? Terms. I like all the detailing there, and of course she delivered it very well. What I really like about this week compared to every other week, this was the first time she took herself seriously on the runway. She didn't do the weird faces, she didn't do the shaky head thing the whole time. She delivered it like somebody like taking it seriously, delivering fashion. And that gained her some points for me. I really appreciated what she did this week. Very strong look.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I really liked it. Like, you know, the more that I'm looking at it and the more of that actual detail that I look at, the more I like it, the more I enjoy it, and do see like touches of trying to elevate in a way without fully elevating it. Wasn't I thought the look was great. I thought it was another solid Plain Jane look, which, solid. I mean, Plain is just on a lot when it comes to the runway. Like they know what they're doing, and they bring it. But yeah, there was definitely a heightened level of sophistication, of elevation, of presentation, and almost like professionalism in the way that she did that. It's almost like she's trusting herself more and feeling more like confident and grounded when she's doing it. It's cool to see.
I do think she performed this well. To me, her look is on the same basic level I gave Xunami. It's not doing a whole lot more than Xunami did. It's just, I mean, it's still the same glittery, shiny kind of salsa kind of outfit, like Latin ballroom kind of outfit that we saw with Xunami. She performed it a little bit better. I definitely agree she performed it better. But if I'm just looking at the look, it could be the same dress Xunami wore. It's just it's the same
I just
thing.
think there's a little more detail, especially
A little detail at the top, but it's still the same thing. Because they had different details at different points. Like Jane's details was at the bodice part of it. Tsunami's details was all down the side of it. It wasn't just. It was just. It's different in the details, but it's still the same.
Yeah,
it's still the same silhouette, same little. In my opinion. I don't know. It's just it's cute, but I thought Tsunami's was cute. I was like, Tsunami's is good. It's a solid, good look. The presentation of the look, I think Plain definitely did it better than Xunami. But if I'm just talking just look specifically, it's the same look. It's Latin ballroom look. It's glittery, it's shiny, it's flowy, it moves well on the stage. Same thing, but it's just the performance of it. But scores though.
Well, I gave her an 81.
Ooh.
I gave an 80. It's a solid look because I just wanted it 10 points more because it's like just like one level up from Xunami's look, only because of the amount of attention to detail on the bodice, and especially in the torso and whatnot. But yeah, it was a good look from Plain Jane, but it wasn't, everything.
I gave it a 70. I gave it the same as Xunami. She looked like Tsunami's look. The dress looked like Tsunami's dress. And if we give Xunami a 70, she get a 72. Sorry, both of y'all get 70s.
Wait,
but they
a 72?
cute.
Yeah.
No, 70.
I know. I'm kidding.
She gets a 70 as well. But it's a cute dress. And I thought Tsunami's dress was cute.
But if her and Xunami were lip syncing for your life, you weren't sure which one you'd be rooting for.
I know exactly who I'll be rooting for. I always root for. I root for everybody black. That's my statement. I always root for.
I'm more of like the Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man kind of.
Right.
Who is who? Yeah,
Who's who?
I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, they're the same now.
It's definitely the same thing. But so we do get the they're on the stage, they're getting their critiques, all the things.
First time Q is safe.
Safe Q. Good for you, girl. Because look, according to some people on this panel, your outfit should have put you all the way down at the bottom. But
yeah, I don't know about that.
Y'all, your outfit alone would have put you at the bottom for some of these folks. But not me, Q, because I gave you a 69, but other folks was. But no, but Q safe. Good on you, Q.
Yeah.
But our top three, excuse me, y'all. I don't mean to be coughing at y'all, but our top three is Sapphira, Mhi'ya, and Plain Jane.
Deserve.
Sure.
Deserve. Where's that clip?
Definitely deserved. Yeah.
Well, let's down there.
Deserve.
Deserve.
That's from
There we
DragRace.
go.
And but when we have a top three, we have to have a bottom three. And our bottom three is Nymphia Wind, Xunami Muse, and Morphine Dion Love. And you know what? Probably again,
Deserve.
it is what it is.
But in for Morphine, but it was close enough that I wasn't mad.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I forgot to do the bottom two, but the bottom two ended up being Morphine and Xunami. Nymphia was safe. I forgot to make the banner for that. And our winner this week was a surprise Plain Jane. She was surprised.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean,
girl,
gotta give her props. I would have loved to see Sapphira get her second win because it feels like Sapphira. It doesn't feel like Sapphira should have 2 wins by now.
Yeah,
it feels like she should, and I'm shocked that she doesn't.
Definitely.
But I'm gonna give Plain her props. She had a good week this week. She killed the Snatch Game, and her outfit was good, and she performed it well. So good on you.
Yeah.
Good on you. But we do have a lip sync between Xunami and Morphine Dion Love, and they are doing Whitney Houston's "I Want to Dance with Somebody."
My favorite Whitney Houston song.
It's up there.
It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I just love Whitney Houston so much, and I'm like, when I saw that they were doing Whitney Houston, I was like, "We're doing Whitney."
Yeah, I was happy. It's like, all right,
very happy.
Okay.
I don't think I was just as happy when they did Beyonce than when they did Whitney, and I was like, I'm so excited, and I get so excited when they do like Janet. I'm like, oh, I can't. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm very excited. But
you've gotten all 3 this season so far, haven't you?
I know.
Look at you. Look at that.
I was like, wait a minute. All they got to do is, I'm trying to see who else they could throw in there, and I'll be like, oh, you trying to break me? I don't know what to do, but I don't know yet. I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot they could do. And I'll be like, yes. But yeah, I was very ready for this. I was very ready for this song when I saw what they were doing. I wanted to dance with somebody. I was like, okay, it's a lot you can do with this song because Whitney left it open for you to do some things with it. And then the lip sync happened, and I was like, okay, All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to say it. Wasn't that impressed by this lip sync. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was sweet because those two were friends and they wanted to give everybody a show, and it was fun for them, and it was cute. It was sweet, but I wasn't like blown away like I wanted to be because of the song. I wanted this lip sync to be like Break My Soul was. Like, that was a lip sync that I was like, yes, I can watch that over and over again. I ain't gonna watch this one over and over again. I watched it like 4 times now, and I'm like, yep, that's enough. So, but I thought it was okay. It got a little hectic for me at the end. Like, I thought Morphine she was losing a little bit. I was like, I don't know what you're so desperate for, girl. You doing all right. You winning this lip sync. You doing it. But she was kind of just like, she got to the point, she's like, oh, I want to dance with somebody, and got a little frantic. I was like, calm down. Get back in the pocket. You slipped out the pocket a little bit. You're a musician, Victor. You know, when she just slipped out that pocket, she was kind of like, catch the rhythm again.
That. Yeah, her steps were like a little too fast.
You're like,
She just kind of you remember how, David, you talk about the desperation factor when people are lip syncing for their life? And I get it. Like, yeah, they are lip syncing for their life, but it was that moment. It was just so frenzy and chaotic for her, because I was watching her in that moment. I was like, uh-oh, girl, slow it down a little bit. You're doing too much too fast. But it was all right. I thought the lip sync was just all right. But I would love to hear y'all thoughts about it, because I talk too much.
Yeah, my thoughts are actually pretty similar. So I was thinking Morphine started out very strong. She came out with a good amount of energy, not too much, not too little. And I think Xunami was more consistent with her energy level and performance level the whole time. Like, if I had to do them as, here, let me show you in my hands where they were. So this is Morphine, right? And I'm going to have to release my microphone. But we have like Xunami here, and Morphine's high, and they're just going across. Well, they should probably be pretty even. They're going across, and I think Morphine just kept getting lower and might have like dipped a little bit below Xunami, who was more consistent throughout. But I do think, personally, I think the highs that Morphine gave were enough to edge out Xunami for me, and I would have given Morphine the win.
Same. I feel the same way. Yeah, it was a cute, lip sync. It was very sweet. I obviously, if you couldn't tell by this point, like, I don't like it when they're too mean, but like, I also like it when they can get along. Like, like there was one season of All Stars that everybody was just like, nobody cared because they were all super successful. So they were just having fun. That's fun to watch. And so I do like watching that, but I also like, I want to see the blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a time for cute. And it is nice. Like, do that for a second, do a little bit of a thing, but it's like, girls, break it up and fight. Okay. Like, like dance against each other, like lip sync for your life, please. And yeah, it's just, it felt a little chaotic. It felt off, not memorable. It just was.
It was.
But yeah, Morphine definitely won for sure.
Yeah, and everybody agreed. Xunami Muse was eliminated. I hate that for her, because I wanted to see more of her and what she could do, but the timing was what it was. She didn't fulfill what she needed to fulfill. The Snatch Game kind of got her. The Snatch Game got her, and she couldn't come back from that. So
yeah, it gets a lot of queens.
It does, and I'm very sad because I really like Xunami. But and next week we get the previews, and they're sewing. They're sewing.
Oh yeah,
we're bringing goth, neo goth, whatever that is.
Yeah. What is it?
Neo goth.
Oh, neo goth. Oh,
neo-goth.
Interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see what we've seen, and we already just had a design challenge.
Wave on the bridges.
Q's going to do well.
Q's going to eat, but we don't know.
Nymphia will probably do well. despite
Oh,
the preview making us nervous that she's not going to get to wear yellow. She hasn't worn yellow every week.
she has not got more yellow, really, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. But before we keep moving, I don't know, David. It's your time to shine. Do we have a draft update?
We do. So the draft is pretty interesting right now. So let me remind you all, Plain Jane was not drafted, so she's kind of on her team by herself. And so Plain Jane has 27 points by herself.
Winning the
And then
draft.
Lana, yes, Lana, with her draft of 3 people, is edging out Team Plain Jane by 3 points. She has a collective 30 points between her 3 people.
That's the doggone.
You're holding on by a Mhi'ya and
One
a prayer.
person. I got Mhi'ya in my baskets down there. I'm in for a fun time, not a long time, I'm sure.
You never know. But E is in 4th place with 50 points. Brandon is in 3rd place with 57.5 points. Rhea has 60.5 points in 2nd place. And then, surprise, surprise, winning the draft is Logan with 69 points.
Nice.
There, I was waiting for that.
That's all right, Logan. Logan says either they go win it and be top of the tops with all the points, or they go flop. But
tops of flops.
Flops. That's where I stay in right now. I am the flops of all flops in these drafts.
That was another read. Somebody called. They said, Mhi'ya, you're not the queen of flips. You're the queen of flops.
Queen of flops. Oh my God, yes.
She showed them this episode.
She showed them. She said, I don't flop on everything. Maybe my look flops, but not everything. I don't know.
Right.
But that is that, y'all. We did it. If y'all stuck around with us for these 2 hours, you know you like us and y'all want to subscribe to this channel. So you should do that. Hit the subscribe button right now. It takes a half a second to do it. Hit the notification bells. Interact with us. Get us on the algorithm, people. Do that. We appreciate you. Join our membership right down there. It's right underneath there as well. Get some exclusive stuff about us. And go join the other 2 channels, The Cup TV, The Cup ESC, do all of the things. You can follow us on our social medias at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We have some funny moments that we put on there. Probably something from the show. I don't know. But we'll see. And check us out on all of those outlets. And then you can just follow me and David because you know what? Victor doesn't want you to follow him. Victor says, I have nowhere for you to follow me. And I don't want you to follow me. But me and David are needy and greedy. And we're like, please.
I love y'all in spite of my lack of being on social media.
Me and David are very needy. And we're like, please follow us. We want all of the followers. And Victor said, I don't care. He's cooler than us.
I'm tired, darling.
He's cooler than us. And that's cute and everything. But we appreciate you. Victor, thank you for coming.
Thank you all so much for having me. This was so much fun.
And you are welcome back anytime.
Oh, yeah. I would love to be back. That'd be great.
And you can also go link down and get your cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the descriptions below, you know. And on that note, y'all, we're finna get out of here because we're tired of talking about Drag Race now. No, I'm just kidding. We'll be back next week, same time, different panel, I'm sure. And cheers, y'all. Cheers.
Drag you.
Drag you.
Bitch, I'm about to drag you.
Period. Period.